All right, Colorado, we are back. Man, it's time for us to continue our GM mode commentary with your Colorado Avalanche. Here at the start of year number 2, preseason, and I'm hoping for a good year out of this young Avalanche squad. We already know about the NHL entry draft, Nolan Patrick, and I'll just give you guys a quick update. EA Sports, they released a gameplay update that actually saved our previous save file, the one that we lost where I drafted Timothy Liljegren and Maxime Comtios. So I started up a new one. We drafted Nolan Patrick in the new draft because he fell to number 3. I'm going to go with the second save file, okay? Just in case the first one ends up freezing a year from now or something like that. We don't need that happening. So we're just going to continue with the Nolan Patrick save file. And there he is, boys. He jumped to 88 overall in the first offseason. He hasn't even played a game in the NHL just yet. And the kid's already getting better. 88 overall. Now, I was reading your comments. I think for the future, McKinnon and Patrick down the middle, that is the plan. But right now, Nolan Patrick is still growing. And you guys pointed out something to me. His role, his player role, it's right there at the top, first line forward. So this guy's already good enough to be playing on the first line. Now, if I put him at the second line center, that's the way I want to build this team. But I want to put these guys there on the first and second line center position when they're done growing. Right now, if you put them together, you may see Nolan Patrick grow to like a 92, 93. Maybe even Nathan McKinnon continues to grow. If you split them up, maybe Patrick caps off at an 89, 90. So I think for the first few years here, we're going to put Nolan Patrick on the first line alongside of Nathan McKinnon and Jonathan Drouin. I mean, and that's a filthy sniper, playmaker, power forward combination. And if you guys remember, the option C, the accelerated rebuild, we traded for guys like Jonathan Drouin. We traded for a guy like Derek Pouliot back there. We want these guys to grow. So put them all on the same line, even if we don't have the greatest regular season. We're not ready to take that playoff step just yet. These guys I know will have filthy offensive seasons. Nolan Patrick, McKinnon, Drouin. I decided to go with Nick Bonino as a second line center because Patrick's on the wing. He's going to play alongside of Sebastian Aho and Mikko Rantanen. We'll see how that second line contributes. Third line, JT Compher. I was thinking about putting Tyson Jost down in the AHL, but his offensive stats are actually decent. And considering we have Nolan Patrick as the first line left winger, I do need a third line center. And he's 79 overall. Put him as a third line center. He's listed as a minor scoring forward. He might grow this year. And look at that third line, 2 snipers and a playmaker. So, I mean, the top 9 looks to be able to score goals. Fourth line, just a bunch of grinders in there. Andrew Desjardins, Michael Latta, and Tyler Kennedy, two-way forward. I have some depth players as well. Defensively, Derek Pouliot, who jumped up to an 85 offensive defenseman. We'll see how he plays with Nolan Patrick, Nathan McKinnon, and Jonathan Drouin. Tyson Barrie, he's in there as well. His great offensive stats. So our power play and our goals for should be I don't want to say NHL elite, but we shouldn't be struggling to score goals. Even though this is a young team, we got enough firepower. Nikita Zadorov and Chris Bigris on the top 4, the second line defensive pairing. I don't know what to make of these guys. Last year they were in the AHL. This year they got the jump to 84. I want to see how they simulate in the NHL. And then Michael Dilzaster and Eric Jelena. So defensively, our top 4 looks great. Offensively, our top 9 looks great. Well, not great. It looks offensive. It looks like a stud offensively. But the goals against might be an issue this year. We may not be able to keep the puck out of the net. You might see games like 6-5, 5-4, 7-3, just crazy games like that. Power play, though, here's where we do have a strength. Nolan Patrick, Nathan McKinnon, Jonathan Drouin, Tyson Barrie, and Derek Pouliot. I don't care what you say. That is a filthy power play squad. And then we got Compher, Jost, and Rantanen. I want to give these guys the chance to get some points. Power play, did I give? Yeah, Aho. Oh, I got Grigorenko on the point, do I not? Yeah, Grigorenko's right there, and I give Aho 4-man power play time. So everyone's getting their power play time, boys. Everyone's getting their ice time, I should say. Penalty kill looks like that. We're going to use Nick Bonino and the 4th liners up front. We don't need to use the goal scorers. They can't kill penalties. Extra attackers, yeah. Goaltenders, Calvin Picard, Jean-Luc Picard. You know what? That's his new nickname. Jean-Luc Picard, baby. The captain. We'll see what he can do back there. 87 overall, and he's still got 1 more year to grow. Our scratch players, we got Blake Como, Zach Redmond, and Gabriel Bork. So if injuries happen, those guys can replace them. And for our AHL squad, we don't really have anyone except for one defender. Everyone else, we don't have a stud down there that we're trying to grow for next year. Grimaldi may grow. I got him on the first line. We'll see. Sergei Kalainen, he may grow as well. Same thing with Jordan Wheel, playmaker, bottom six, maybe into an 80 overall player. You never know. I have seen some crazy growth in the past. But defensively, this guy, Nicholas Malak, two-way defender, medium top four, 20 years of age, already 78 overall. This is why I stacked up the AHL squad. Even if it's just for this one defenseman. He's listed as a medium top four, which means you could see him 85 plus. So I want the AHL squad to have a great season. That's why the forward core, a bunch of high 70s, almost 80s through the top nine. Defensively, a bunch of 80s in there. And goaltenders, instead of playing Vinny Vehvilainen, even though he's listed as a minor league starting goaltender, I want the AHL squad to have a great year. So I got Jeremy Smith, who was 78 overall instead. All right, boys, so that is the introduction to year number 2. We'll see how the Colorado Avalanche simulate here. But I'm still in option C, the accelerated rebuilds. It would be nice to try to make the playoffs this season, but the goal right now is to continue to grow the future. Nathan MacKinnon, we already decided that he's going to be the number 1 center of the... Well, I mean, until we got Nolan Patrick. We'll see what happens with those two guys. I can always change Nolan Patrick's position to the left wing as well. I know it sucks that we didn't get Timothy Liljegren. We have a lot of question marks on the blue line right now. But if we drafted Timothy Liljegren and Maxime Comtos, then we would have a big question mark as our second line center. Maybe Tyson Jost is good enough for that. I'll go forward 6 weeks in the WHL. Maybe Tyson Jost is good enough for second line center, but in case he's not, Nolan Patrick solidifies the center core for the Colorado Avalanche. Nathan MacKinnon, Nolan Patrick, Nick Bonino, or Tyson Jost. And Jost is another sniper I could put into a winger. And, you know, when we're thinking about option C, the next step, I don't think this team is going to be a Stanley Cup contender. It might be, you never know. Our offense just maybe lights out. But if we're looking to take that next step, the draft is going to be useful because there's a lot of defensemen in the draft upcoming this year. If we're not a playoff team, hopefully we can snag up Erasmus Dahlin, Ryan Merkley. I think there's another guy, Cale Adson. There's a Ty, or maybe his last name is Ty. I forget. There's like 4 defensemen that you could draft that would be studs this year. That's the point, right? There's also a sniper. There's a two-way forward in there. So if we're not a greatest team, we can use the first-round pick from us and also the first-round pick from the Dallas Stars if they're not a great team to continue to build. But also we have to think about trades, okay? What do? Do we trade away a guy like Tyson Barrie? Do we trade away a guy like Miguel Grigorenko, Sebastian Aho? Plenty of assets on this team that are just not going to fit in once we know the future. And when that happens, a big-time trade for a defenseman. So that's where I want you guys to chime in on the comments, all right? Potential trades that we could do to make this team better. You guys will have a better sense of who we should trade at the end of this video when I show you the point totals. I want to see how this team simulates. And so far, look at that. The first month of the season, October 31st, 2017. We're done October, and the Colorado Avalanche are off to a 6-2-1 start. The thing about the, okay, if I'm looking at this team from an unbiased perspective, I'm no longer the general manager of the Colorado Avalanche. MacKinnon, Drouin, and Nolan Patrick is a filthy first line. I know MacKinnon can get points. We saw it last year. He had a 30-goal season as a playmaker at a scouting assignment. Jonathan Drouin, sniper. We saw him 25 goals before we traded for him, something like that. So I know those two guys together will be able to create offense. The wild card is Nolan Patrick. Will he amplify the offensive output by those two players? Will he hinder them? Will he just play regular with those two guys? I mean, if you have a case where he amplifies it and all 3 of these guys are point per game, I mean, that might just be good enough to turn us into a playoff bound team by itself. I mean, and along with Derek Pouliot and Tyson Barrie, who both have great offensive stats, passing, offensive awareness, the power play should be great. I mean, these guys, that first line might be able to carry us to the playoffs all by themselves, man. Nolan Patrick, 88 overall. I can't believe he jumped to 88 overall. Maybe the EA Voodoo actually helped us out, boys, because the Colorado Avalanche in year number 2 are 13-5-2 to start the year. Hell yeah, baby. GM Superman came to the Mile High City, smoked that weed, and got this team back in the winning column. 14-5-3. Look at this. All right, we're going to have to stop this sim. I mean, maybe I shouldn't stop. No, there's a regulation laws. Hang on. The Islanders. Yeah, I'm going to stop the sim right there. I want to take a look at what we're doing. This could be a playoff year. I don't want to let this season get away from us. If our penalty kill or our power play is not looking great, I can always make a line change, and we win against the Islanders. All right, so if I traded to the Islanders, that would have been great if we had that first-round pick from the Islanders squad. Even though Landeskog might have made their simulation slightly better. 8-12-3. We're the Dallas. Here we go. Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars are 10-10-2, boys. That's a pick. Remember, we have our pick and the Dallas Stars pick. That's massive. That's massive. Okay, so let's take a look. This is good. This is good. This is really good. I'm really liking the way that this season started off. So Eric Johnson, remember the trade to the Pittsburgh Penguins? Eric Johnson for Derek Pouliot seems to be working out for the Pittsburgh Penguins. 6-4. So you guys can follow the trades. I'll try to remember them. What else did I have? I had Varlamov in Carolina. I'll have to check out Matt Duchene as well. I have to do all that stuff. Okay, so team stats. Let's take a look at the team stats for year 2 so far. We're only 2 months in, but the Colorado Avalanche, they are leading their division, the Central Division, with 33 points. Hell yeah, boys. So let's take a look at the entire league. The Colorado Avalanche are the 4th best team in the NHL. Woo, baby. I did not expect this. So goals for per game. Let's see. We are the 3rd highest goal scoring team in the NHL. Now, that was expected. If anyone doubts that this team can score goals, if you think, oh, Johnny, you edited the rosters too OP, let me tell you, every team has rosters like this now. And the trades that I made from the beginning, I unloaded guys like Landeskog, who I could tell don't simulate well, and I brought in guys who do get goals, who do get points, who take a lot of shots. And you know, if Aho and Grigorenko and Tyson Jost and JT Compher are great simulators, you have a stacked top 9. So 3.63 goals for per game. Goals against per game, though, this one should be, I mean, that's frightening. That's frightening. How is this team that good defensively already? I was expecting us to be one of the best offensive teams, but one of the worst defensive teams. 2.63. So maybe Bigris and Zadorov are actually contributing very successfully. Power play percentage, let's see. Did I see us way down there? Hang on. Ooh. So we're scoring goals 5-on-5, which is even scarier. Oh my God. The Colorado Avalanche power play is like at 16.5%, but we're still averaging 6.3 or not 6.3, Jesus Christ, 3.63 goals per game without a good power play. Our 5-on-5 is lights out, and our penalty kill, let's see, this is one that I can maybe, Colorado Avalanche, 84.8. Now the 4th liners are getting it done. So really the only thing I can improve is the power play, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to change anything right now. Home record 7-3-2, last 10. Yeah, we're kicking ass. All right. We are kicking ass. Let me go to the players' stats. Miguel Grigorenko, if he's not scoring a lot of goals, if he doesn't have points, I will replace him on the power play. Because that is one thing. I got a sniper on the point. I could just put a point guy in there. So forwards. JT freaking Compher? Where the hell? Okay, see, this is what I mean. How is this guy 84 overall? His offensive awareness is 88. His passing is only 84. His shot, let's see his shot. Oh my God. His wrist shot power and wrist shot and slap shot power are both spiked. He's not getting goals, though. He's getting assists. Getting assists with a passing rating of 84. So this guy's a great simulator, boys. Jonathan Drouin, there it is. There it is. 24 points in and 10 goals in 24 games played. Nathan McKinnon, point per game, and Nolan Patrick, point. So there it is, boys. We are witnessing why the Colorado Avalanche are simulating so well. You guys were 110% correct about Nolan Patrick. I'm glad I have him on the first line. It sucks that I don't have him as center. I don't think that will hinder his growth. I hope it doesn't. But he is playing beautifully with Jonathan Drouin and Nathan McKinnon. They're all point per game players. And if you have a first line of 3 players, they're all point per game. Like I said, that a lot of times is good enough to put you in a playoff race just by that. It's not going to make you a Stanley Cup contender, but if you have a decent team around those 3, which we do, watch out. Tyson Jost, oh baby, I'm glad I brought him up. 12 goals in 24 games played, 19 points. So that's the big thing. Tyson Jost, JT Compher on that 3rd line. They're tearing it up. Rantanen, 17 points, all right. Grigorenko, he's got 10 assists. No, I got to leave him on the power play. He's doing just fine. Desjardins, what the fuck? Desjardins, 10 points on the 4th line. No power play time. 5 goals. Sebastian Aho. Okay, Aho. Now remember, Aho is not receiving any power play time. He's got the 1 shift on the 4-man power play, but 5-man power play, he's not playing, and he's on the 2nd line. So, you know, not everyone's going to be able to contribute. So if you're looking for trades, not now, But in the future, a-hole for a grinder or a two-way forward or somebody who can help out the penalty kill or just round out the team a little bit more, that would work. But having all these snipers also ensures that if we lose one to an injury, boom, you just replace one right away. Nick Bonino, 10 points in 24 games played. Lada 7. I always say I got to get my ass out of UFC. Jesus. Tyler Kennedy, defenseman. There it is, boys. That's why I traded for Derek Pouliot. Remember the plan to get McKinnon going. We acquired Drouin, the sniper, to play alongside of him. We got lucky with Nolan Patrick, and we traded for Derek Pouliot while holding on to Tyson Barrie. All the players that are surrounding Nathan McKinnon right now are performing, and this is why this team, I mean, he's point for freaking game. What the hell? And Delzaster, he's got 6 points. Big Grass and Zadorov. All right, so these two guys, they're not getting points, but they're both plus players. So you got a combination of the first line scoring goals, the second line shutting her down. And then goaltenders, what about Jean-Luc Picard here? 2.69 goals against. Save percent. Yeah, okay. So it's our goals for right now that it's winning us games. It's not bad, 0.909, but it's our goals for. So, boys, let us continue to simulate. I'd like to get a good chunk done in this video, like I said. You know what? I mean, 24 games in. If it goes so well, I'm thinking I might even be able to pass the trade deadline. I'm getting ahead of myself. All right, let's just get to the All-Star game. The reason I like to stop it at the trade deadline is because if we have any massive trades to make, I like to have you guys chime in. The problem with that stopping at the trade deadline is that the next video is just finishing off the regular season and the trade deadline, and then you got to wait another for the playoffs. If I took it all the way to the playoffs in this video, we could just start the playoffs in the next one. But that's assuming that this is a playoff team because we just lost 2 in regulation. See what I mean? Look at that loss to the Chicago Blackhawks, 7-5. That's the kind of season I was expecting to have. Games where we would score 3 or more, but we would lose. We would concede like 5 or 4 goals. And here we go. We're starting to lose some games here. Look at that. Not good, boys. 5 of the last 6 games we have lost in regulation. 4-2, 7-5, 5-2, 3-1. Here it is. The Colorado Avalanche coming back down to earth, boys. I think that's what happened last year, wasn't it? We were playing great, and then we just came back down to earth. I'm fine with it, though. I'm not making any line changes. I'm fine with this. This team has already been overachieving. And we can always turn it like 5-3. Man, a lot of losses in a row right here. Adding up 3-0. What the hell is going on? This team was lights out. And then all of a sudden December 2017 hit. And how many lost? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We went 3-9, I think, in over 12 games. Good God. And now we've gone 1-0, 1-2. Yeah. All right. So December of 2017 was not a great month for us, boys. But that great start has ensured that we're still in the hunt. I believe that is our goals against, though. It has to be. Unless our goals for has come back down. 6-3 win. I'm going to start following the wins here, boys. I got to start. We're getting to that point of the season where we might be a playoff team, but 15 regulation losses already. Got to keep that under control. I might make, you know what, we're stopping the trade deadline. Definitely stopping at the trade deadline now. Let's see. The Florida Panthers, we win. Okay, there's 3 in a row. That's 4-0-1 in our last 5. This streaky-ass team here in Colorado. God damn, look at that. December was just horrible, and now look at January. We've yet to lose a game in regulation. I probably, just jinxed us. And look at that, 6-4 loss to the Nashville Predators. That's the kind of loss. Yeah, 5-2 loss. I don't want to take hang on. We just passed the Dallas Stars. I want to take a look at their record. Overtime loss to the Buffalo. Look at this streaky-ass team here in Colorado. You sometimes see that with an offensive team, you know? When their offense isn't scoring, they're missing the net, hitting the post, running into hot goaltenders. They're going to lose games like crazy. So the Dallas Stars, 18-17-8. Now, that's a record that they could jump to the playoffs from, or they could just fall off from. 17 regulation losses, same as us. But if they go on like a 10-game winning streak, 28-17-8, that's a playoff-bound record, right? So I'm hoping the Dallas Stars continue to shit the bed. Let's go past the All-Star. You know what? Let's just go. Yeah, there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, like 6, 9, 10, like 13 games before I want to stop it. Yeah, we're going to stop it right after this Winnipeg game. So you know what? Let's trust this team. It's the option C, the accelerated rebuild. We're still in a stage where I want to play the young guys. I want the young guys to get the points. I want them to get the ice time. Patrick, Drouin, McKinnon, Pouliot, even Tyson Barrie. He still has the potential to grow. So if I'm doing that, we got to play these guys, okay? We're going to play them even if they're losing. Let them get the points. Okay, we're at the All-Star break. Hang on 1 second here, boys. All right, I'm back. So here we are after the All-Star game, January of 2018, and the Colorado Avalanche record is 24-19-7. So we're not having that President's Trophy type season that we were having in October, November, December killed us. Even early January was decent. What did we lose some games here? Yeah, regulation loss to Nashville. Regulation loss to Dallas, who now record is 20-17-9. See what I mean about that jumping off point. Overtime loss to the Buffalo Sabres, a loss to Chicago, loss to Anaheim. We are a streaky ass team. Look how this month started. Win, overtime loss, win. 5-0-1, followed up by, what is it? Yeah, 1-5. 5-0-1 followed up by 1-5. We are a streaky team, boys. Sometimes the offense is there, sometimes it isn't. So we're just going to get to the trade deadline in this video. I have to stop it at the trade deadline because decisions need to be made with a record like this. So we got Vancouver 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 games before the trade deadline. If we could win 6 of them, 6-5, and hopefully some of those 5 are overtime losses. 6-3-2, 6-4-1. Something like that. If we can win 6 games, I think we'll be in a spot where we might be able to make a push for a playoff spot. We got to get to 30 though, okay? 30 before the trade deadline there, down to the 26. So let's follow this. The Vancouver Canucks, not a great record. We beat, look at that, 6-5. See what I mean about these offensive games? Calgary Flames, they're looking for a playoff spot. We beat them with a shutout. Jean-Luc Picard, baby. The Minnesota Wild, they got a great team. Yeah, 6-2 loss. Figures a team like that, they're going to score goals on us. Edit scouting assignments, where have we gone so far? We've gone WHL, forwards and defense. Let's go OHL. Defense and forwards, 6 weeks. I'll have to take a look at... I should put more effort into freaking scouting, man. I just get that thing done right away. If I have a top pick, though, I should be focusing on it. So the Nashville Predators, a 2-1 loss in regulation. There's 2 in a row. Chicago, there's 3 in a row now. That's not good, boys. All right. 3-3 so far since the All-Star. If we could just win the rest of them here and not have another regulation loss, only let them be overtime losses, we might be able to make a push for the playoffs. Some tough teams to beat, though. The LA Kings, actually, they're below 500. We beat them twice, back-to-back. Nice. It wasn't back-to-back, but you know what I mean. 4-1 loss to the Detroit Red Wings. Nashville Predators, we beat them. All right, Calgary Flames, we beat them. So we got the 6 that we wanted, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, we got the 6 that we wanted. We're going to go 6-5 exactly. Yeah, 6-5 exactly. So just like I said it. Oh, man, I was hoping that we'd get an overtime loss in there. So a record of 30-24-7. Overall, 30-31 if you count in those overtime losses. I think it's a good year for a young Colorado Avalanche squad. It's certainly the kind of year where guys like Nolan Patrick, McKinnon, and Drouin will have great point-producing seasons. They're not the reason we're losing. It's the lack of depth and the defense, and I wonder if our goaltender is just not getting it done either. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it was 6-5. Good God, I called it. 1, 2. Unless I'm 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6-5. Couldn't just be 6-4-1, right? Couldn't be 6-3-2. 6-5 exactly. So where does that put us? Let's take a look at the team standings. We'll take a look at the trading blocks. We'll do all that good stuff because, well, actually now with our first round pick and the Dallas Stars first round pick, we might want to hold on to both of them. They might be lottery picks. So entire league, let's see where we sit right now. Also with the Dallas Stars. Let's see, Dallas, Colorado. So Dallas is right there in 17th. See what I mean about their record? They're starting to take off a little bit. 27, 22, and 11 now. That's going to look like a playoff team if they keep that up. The Colorado Avalanche, though, where were we? We above? Oh, we were above Dallas. There we go. I didn't see us the first time around. 30, 24, and 7. So let's just take a look at this in terms of the playoffs. Central Division. Okay, so the Colorado Avalanche, the Minnesota Wild have the last divisional playoff spot with 80 points. It's a three horses right now. 83, 81, 80 points. Winnipeg Jets are in 4th. They're 8 points behind. They do have 2 games in hand though, so maybe potentially, the same freaking word used twice. Potentially only 4 points behind. The Colorado Avalanche, however, we are potentially 11 points behind the divisional playoff spot. So Winnipeg was 72. That's the, well, that might not be the wild card. Hang on. 72. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Okay, so all the points right now in the West are in our division, the Central Division. It kind of sucks because we got tough teams to face, but it's also good because that means that the wild card position is way low this year, and it is. So you got Arizona, the Sharks, and the Oilers Oilers, who are all in that divisional spot. But the wild card, right? Anaheim at 69, Calgary at 62. So 69, and the Central Division, 72 and 67. So right now in the Western Conference, you have the top 3 teams in both divisions that hold on to those playoff spots, and the 2 wild card teams currently are the Anaheim Ducks with 69 points and the Winnipeg Jets with 72 points. We are only 2 points behind Anaheim and only 5 points behind Winnipeg. So the playoffs are still certainly a possibility, boys. If we can win more games than we lose, go on another kind of ratio, like that 6-5 ratio in the last 11 games, if we can go on something similar to that, we may have a chance of making the playoffs this year. Just squeaking in, but we may have a chance at it. So, shit, I should have done... hang on. Yeah. We got to take a look at this. I got to show you guys the team stats, the power play, the penalty kill, the goals for. If a trade is there to be made, I want to know. And if a line change is there to be made, I want to know. So goals for per game. Let's see this. Colorado Avalanche. Yeah, we came back down to earth a little bit. We were at 3.63. Now we're at 3.08. So it's still great. We're still scoring goals, and this number will go up as our team gets older. Our team is going to grow. We certainly are an offensive team, but goals against per game, 2.90 we're at. Let's see, 2.90. Yeah. We're allowing way too many goals per game, and that's what I thought this team would be. The Colorado Avalanche right there, 2.90 goals for, or goals against per game, I should say. Oh, hang on. No! I didn't, for fuck's sake, I pushed the B button. Didn't mean to push the B button. Hang on a second. Central Division. Let me go back the entire league. I got to take a look at the power play percentages as well. Now, we were scoring goals without a power play percentage last time. Let's see. I mean, maybe we can improve the Colorado Avalanche power play is only 18.9. But with the simulation, I wonder if you improve the power play, maybe then your 5-on-5 offense comes down. Like, you're only going to get offense one way. It's going to determine how you get the goals. And with this team, it determines it by the 5-on-5. I could be wrong. Maybe if we improve our power play, we score like 4 goals per game. I doubt it, though. But if you guys have any suggestions for the power play, let me know. And our penalty kill, let's see. Oh, certainly. Oh, yeah. Okay. So 81.1%. It's good enough for, what is that? Is that 10th or 15th? It's like top 13. I mean, you can make the case that we're in the better half, but I want to be in like the top 10. So yeah, 83%. We gotta improve the penalty kill. Don't really have the players to do it, but that's what we gotta do. Okay. So that is the team stats. Now the player stats. It looks like Jonathan Drouin is our leading point man, and that's good. So, Drouin has been point per game, 61 points in 61 games played. Nathan MacKinnon, 61 points in 61 games played. Nolan Patrick, see, this is what I mean about earlier on, he was point per game, and we were killing it. Now, he's dropped off a little bit, but he's not hindering Drouin and MacKinnon. So he's not slowing these two guys down. He might actually be amplifying them. He might be allowing them to get these kind of seasons. And the good news is that MacKinnon and Drouin are keeping this guy up there. I mean, 50 points in 61 games played is no... I'm not disappointed or anything. I'm just saying that they not playing as well as they were earlier on in the season. But 17 goals, he's probably going to be a 20-goal scorer, maybe even 25-goal scorer, maybe 70 points. That's a great rookie season for Nolan Patrick, and he's already grown to an 89 overall. So the point is to grow these guys, and these guys are growing. JT Compher, all right, remember he was point per game. He came back down to earth, as I knew they would. 46 points, still great in a rookie season, 35 assists. He's not going to be a 20-goal scorer as it was looking earlier on in the season. I knew that. He doesn't have the offensive way, and he's a playmaker, yeah. But Tyson, Joss, look at this. These two guys, they play well together. JT Compher gets all the assists. Tyson Joss gets all the goals. Joss is a 24 goals. He's the leading goal scorer on our team. 38 points, 24 goals. Beautiful on the third line. I think he's got power play time as well. Grigorenko, 37 points, so he's getting it done. Rantanen, 34 points. Remember, these guys could use a better second-line center. They got Nick Bonino. We put Nolan Patrick back there, maybe their point totals go up, but for right now, I'm fine with 34 points. He looks to be a 20-goal scorer, so I'm fine there. Sebastian Aho, 21 assists. Remember, he doesn't have that power play time. Might be a trade bait right there. Desjardins, and remember, Desjardins had like 5 goals in the first 20 games. The fourth liners came back down to earth as well, minus 13. Yeah, all these guys. But look, I mean, the top players are plus players, plus, even for what's his name, Nolan Patrick. This is a good growth year. Derek Pouliot, 46 points, 15 goals. Tyson Barrie, 23. All right, I mean, Tyson Barrie only had 23 points. But then again, I wouldn't want to break that up. I want to keep those guys together. Big Rest, Disaster, Zadorov, okay, and they're even players. And what about our goaltender, Jean-Luc Picard? What is he doing for us? 2.64. Our backup, Eddie Lack, isn't getting it done. If we want to make the playoffs, if we're seriously going on a stretch to try to make the playoffs, a backup wouldn't be a bad idea because 5-10, that's not good enough. We're losing because of a backup right there. Picard, 25, 15, and 4. Save percentage has been creeping up, .914. This guy's getting it done. He's not the reason we're losing. He's not the reason we're losing. We could use a better backup. Our penalty kill could be better. Acquiring a defenseman obviously would help out tremendously. But you guys know what I mean. This team is actually not that bad. It's the accelerated rebuild, boys. We're coming along. Okay, let's go to... Hang on. It's actually a few things I forgot to show you, actually. Hang on a second here. The Avalanche. I went ahead with the captains for this team in year number 1. Remember, we traded away Gabriel Landeskog. I decided that this team doesn't deserve a captain until someone steps up. So for year number 1, we got Nate McKinnon, Nick Bonino, and Tyson Barrie all as alternates. You guys can help decide the captain. Maybe it's Nathan McKinnon. Maybe it's Jonathan Drouin. Maybe it's Nolan Patrick. Maybe it's Tyson Jost or JT Compher. What a season these guys have had, right? Progress reports. Now, Nicholas Malak in the AHL. Remember, that defenseman that I wanted to grow. Right-handed, medium top 4. So Tyson Jost and Nolan Patrick, we saw some growth out of these guys. Jonathan Drouin, a little bit of growth, okay. And the system, let's see this. Travis Barron grew by 21. Maxime Comtios. Oh, Comtios is going to be ready for next year, boys. 83 overall. Very good. Karpatsev, Lind, where's Malak? There you go. There's Malak. He went up by 13. He's 80 overall. So when you look at next year's team, you know, we are growing. We could make those trades to acquire assets, but we have a right-handed defenseman coming in for next year. And we already have Barry, what's his name? Pouliot, Zadorov, and Bigras, who both had great seasons. So there's another defenseman. Now you got 5 you can trust. Comtios, another winger playmaker, and JT Compher has already been great. So that might be the replacement for Sebastian Aho, or might be the replacement for Nolan Patrick on the first line left wing. Patrick goes to the second line center position. Justin Compher on the third line continue to get it done. We got a lot of different looks here, boys. So what do we do? Let me go to the trade. The trading block, we'll just go through all the teams here. Proposed trade, trading block. Take a look at who is available. If we can improve our team. No, hang on. I didn't want to do this. Oh, shit. Hang on, boys. Trading block. Oh, God, this game is so slow. Trading block. Browse the trading blocks. There you go. Oh, my God. Look. Okay. Stop worrying about how slow it is. So, Nyman, no. Sniper, we don't need that. Now, it could be both prospects for the future, boys, or players to help out our playoff push this year. I want to see some arguments for what we should be doing this year. So there you go. Lance Boma, left wing grinder. If we want to improve the fourth line, Desjardins, Tyler Kennedy, shit. We can improve our fourth line by acquiring a guy like Lance Boma. His trade value is actually not that high either. Brian Elliott as a backup. I mean, he's only got 1 year left, and so does Lance Boma. You could acquire both of these guys for a prospect and a pick and go for a playoff run this year. It wouldn't cost us a lot. We wouldn't have to trade away our first round picks or anything like that. So Elliott and Boma from Calgary, boys. I see a trade there. Stepniak, no. First round picks we're not trading for. Francois Beauchemin, Jack Johnson from the Columbus Blue Jackets. A little bit more trade value. Might not be the best player though, because we already have veteran and he wouldn't fit into the top 6 or top 4 anywhere. I want to play the young guys. So I don't see that trade working out. Let's see here. Balkers, no. UC Jokinen, don't really need any more forwards to score goals. If it was a defensive, like Lance Boma would be the perfect type. We don't need another top 9 goal scorer or offensive player. Don't need first round picks. Steve Downey, Bernier, Nikolai Kulemin, maybe. I have to take a look at Kulemin's stats. I don't think he's that good. If he's good defensively, maybe. Michael Grabner, sniper. We don't need any more forwards or snipers. No. Josephson, no, we're fine. Radim Verbata, no. Johnny Oduya, defensive defenseman, but years left too. We're fine for salary though, actually. Johnny Oduya for the replacement of Eric Jelena or the other guy on our top 6. Johnny Oduya might not be a bad bet, boys. You can get all 3 as well. Oduya, Boma, and Elliott. Marc-Andre Fleury, don't need Fleury. He's too good. He's better than a backup. Let's see. Alvarez, Ben Bishop, no, don't need him. He's way too good for a backup. Bracco, don't need any prospects unless we are unloading. And then Pavlik. There's another backup right there. 84 overall, 1 year left Pavlik. So, boys, there's a lot of There's a lot of trade bait potential if you're going for a playoff push. And you know what? This young team, I think we should do it. I think we should do it, but we should hold on to the Dallas Stars first round pick and our first round pick. So I don't think we should trade away the potential lottery draft picks so that way we can still have a great NHL entry draft even if we miss the playoffs, and we can acquire those veterans and give the chance for the young guys to play meaningful hockey and to go even further. If McKinnon, Drouin, and Patrick play in the playoffs this year, maybe they grow even further. Same thing with Jean-Luc Picard and Derek Pouliot, right? And those guys, they didn't cost a lot. So the quick glance, the way I'm looking at it, I'd like to go on a playoff push this year. The wild card spot is a certain possibility. We just got to win more games than we lose. We don't have to make up any more ground. We control our own destiny. So by acquiring a backup goalie, Pavlik or Elliott, hopefully that gives us more wins than losses when the backup is in the net to finish off the year. Then you could acquire that defenseman. Oh, what was it? Oh, shit. Who's the defenseman? That defense, I forget his name, but he had 1 year left. That could be a replacement for Jelena. And then the Calgary Flames, Lance Boma. Yeah, Lance Boma as well to replace the fourth liners. You could get 3 or 4 players that could help out in a meaningful way that wouldn't sacrifice the future, wouldn't sacrifice this year's NHL entry draft. Just trade a second and a prospect, and I'm fine with that. So, boys, let me know what you think. We have a very important next video. It's not going to be long, but we want to see if we can take the Colorado Avalanche into the playoffs in year number 2. This is the accelerated rebuild, boys. Let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next one. Be sure to check out our website, 2bcsports.com, where the hockey talk continues. Find myself and others in the live interactive chat, or dive into the active forums to talk about sports and gaming. You can also find us on Twitch, where the live streams come to life.